Hey everyone, welcome back to Cali Plants. Mega and Mark. Today we're back at the greenhouse and it's a cloudy, kind of rainy morning today here in my place. But I just want to show you the plants that I bought recently. I will be unboxing it, okay? And also I will be showing you how they look like after planting them because I recorded a video a few days ago and I already planted the plants. And also after that, I want to show you, or along with that, I want to show you my Echeveria Agavoides collection. I think those are the plants that I wanted to highlight right now. I actually have added a lot of Echeveria Agavoides right there. Hybrids, I mean, varieties and hybrids. So those plants I will be highlighting in this video. But now, let's just first look at the unboxing that we have. So here are all the plants that we have. We have our nameplate here. This plant haul came from Angel Blooms on Facebook. So thanks a lot for the plants that we have. I saw that they have a lot of new varieties on their sale. So now let's just look at the plants. This is an Echeveria Morilla. Okay, but we have that. Really nice looking Echeveria. Okay, this is the Echeveria Red Moon. Really nice looking. Nice reddish colors on that one. We still have to repot it and acclimate it so that we can see the entire beauty of the plant. This Echeveria Trumpet, you can see the mutated leaves that it has, kind of like straws, kind of like little pipes. Really nice. I'm not sure if this is the Monocerotis, okay, but it seems to be a Proposorum or a Longissima hybrid. We have those nice edges on the leaves and that really nice no farina type of rosette there. Echeveria Cubic Frost, a plant that I keep trying over and over again because I keep failing on it. But this one is a really nice large one. This is a clump of Cotyledon orbiculata. I believe this is a free, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think I ordered this plant, but it's really nice. It's already a big clump. And with these cotyledons, we just have to acclimate them and make them grow again so that we can see the brighter colors of their farina. So this is Graptoveria aralwen gem. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's a cross between an Amethysinum and an Echeveria purpusorum, and you can see it has that purpusorum influence with its little less farina type of leaves and pointed edges, but the Amethysinum influence is on the thicker leaves because it's much more thicker leaf, but I believe there is still some margins on the side of this plant. Really nice. This is another of those Purpusorum hybrids. This is not a Benbadis, I believe, because it's very different. But I've seen the name, probably Echeveria Glory. Okay, so that's a new type of Purpusorum that you can buy currently on the market. It's a lighter colored Purpusorum hybrid, but it doesn't have that round appearance with the Benbadis. It has these more pointed leaves. Really nice. Okay, I'm not sure what the idea of this one is. It kind of looks like a Bridget, but it's probably one of those collectible Echeverias again that has round leaves and a farina. Okay, but this is one, I think this is a more purple one. Okay, this one I don't think this is a, oh, I think this is a hybrid of some type. I will probably be putting the name on the screen, but it has these nice long leaves that are pointed and a really nice shape. It also has a lot of leaves. Really nice. They sold this as a Superbomb X Lawi, but I believe this is Echeveria Missing You, and we have that nice wide leaves and thick farina. It's another Lawi hybrid. So that is Echeveria Missing You. Really nice large plant. Okay, so this is a green one. I think this is the RZ or RG Echeveria. Okay, it's probably another one of those Agavoides hybrids, but it has much more thicker leaves. Really nice. This is another Agavoides hybrid. I think this is the Far Pillar, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, really nice. Look on that. Finally, we have this large size Dark Vader because I keep failing my Dark Vader. So I'll be trying again with this new one. Hopefully, we can make it consistently grow and beautifully. Okay, so we have that. Okay, now so we're back and now we're gonna look at the plants that we have bought and also our Echeveria Agavoides varieties. Okay. So first up on our new plant haul, this is the Black Hawk. Okay, it's been drying for about 3 to 4 days, I believe. In my area, I haven't planted it right away, but last night I planted it. And currently, it's looking a little bit tired, like dry. But yeah, I'm gonna be watering that after a week. I will still wait for a week before I water that. So now let's go over to our plants. Okay, look at that, look at that. The greenhouse is full, overflowing. There's my coffee. Okay, so we have that. Now all of my Echeveria Agavoides varieties are situated in this part of the greenhouse, the Echeveria section. Now first, we have this, our Echeveria Agavoides hybrid Nevada. Now I believe this is an Echeveria Agavoides crossed with an Echeveria elegans. Okay, because it's a clumping type succulent, one of the more common varieties here in the Philippines. Okay, look at that, really nice rosette shape. Okay, and this one is not rooted, so it's been burning here, but you can see this one is rooted. I just planted them together. This one is rooted already, and even if it's in full sun, it doesn't seem to mind it. So burning really on your Echeveria Agavoides only happens if the plant is not yet established. But you can see here on the center, those are sunburn, not rot. Okay, because the black is starting from the tips and not from the inside of the leaf. If the black or the mushy starts on the inside part of the leaf, okay, that is rotting. The next one we have is our Echeveria Starlight. Okay, this plant right here looks a little bit dull, like you can see it's a little dark colored, and you have some mealybug action in there at the bottom. Yeah, but that plant is another one of those Agavoides hybrids, and you can see that on the influence on the leaves and on the color of the plant and on the form. So it has these kind of like pointed leaves. The next plant you have is the Echeveria RZ or RG. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm not sure if this is an Agavoides hybrid, but it kind of resembles one because of its green leaves and kind of sharper or pointed leaf shape. And we have that on that plant. I think this is one of the more clumping. Okay, because we have other stems right there. But yeah, this one is a thicker leaf Echeveria. I'm not very sure of the exact parentage of that plant. Okay, so that is Echeveria RZ. Next one, we have our champagne varieties. We have our two champagnes here. I think this is the red or purple, and this is the green one. Okay, I used to have the white one, but I lost it. But now we have this green one. It's looking really nice. The camera can see all the striation on the leaves really nicely. Yes, really nice. And look at this one. Look at the purple one. Really nice stripes on the leaves. Okay, and you can only achieve that look if you stress your Agavoides plants, because if you don't stress them, if you just give them continuously water, they will look like this. This is an Echeveria Psyche. This plant can also produce those lines, but if you give it consistent watering and if you give it some shaded area, okay, it will not produce those striations on the leaves, those farina patterns. Now it will just be much more prominent on these ones because the champagne varieties that we have are hybrids with Echeveria laui and Echeveria Agavoides of some type. So you can see that because of the laui influence, it has a lot more farina, so it will produce this much more prominent stripes on it compared with your Psyche. Okay. Now the Psyche is an Echeveria Agavoides crossed with an Echeveria Tolimanensis, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Tolimanensis. Okay, it produces stripes as well, just like your champagne farina patterns, but it's much more subtle on this one. It's not very prominent. So if you manage to stress this one just right, give it consistent light, it will also produce those stripes. But you can expect it to start at the center, and on the older leaves it will no longer have those stripes. Okay, because those older leaves will already have produced their farina, so they will no longer show any stripes even if you stress them. Okay, the new stripes will start at the center, and you will just wait until the plant has replaced its old leaves with new leaves that has farina on them. You can see that we have some flower stalk ongoing on there. Okay, this is Echeveria Psyche, and this is not stressed because it's a new plant. I don't think I've had it for a month yet. Okay, it's still establishing. You can see the leaves, the bottom are kinda squishy, kinda wilted. Okay, and also we have our pink champagne here, our lovely pink champagne. You can see the stripes are also beginning to appear on the inside leaves. So once they appear, I think they will stay the same and they will no longer change those farina patterns unless you water it a lot on top of it. Maybe you could rub off the farina, but it's not a stress trait of a plant that will only appear when stressed. I think that the farina has something of a more physical coloration and not due to stress. Okay, you can probably stress it out to show those farina, but they will not disappear if the plant is no longer stressed. Okay, but if you probably water too often, you will get less farina on the new growth. Okay, so be mindful of watering them. Don't water them too often. Now let's go on to the next. These are two plants that have been growing side by side. Okay, this is our Beni Musume, and you can see that all the nice kind of like burgundy color on it, really deep greenish reddish green, really nice look on that. And this is very stressed because it's been planted in a ugly potting mix and it's not rooting, so it got these really dark stress colors. This is not the usual look of a Beni Musume when you buy it, but I like it. I really like the look of it. Probably I will show this to you again once the plant is drinking, so it will change color as well. If you manage to root it up nicely, it will get brighter colors, but usually if they are stressed and they are not rooted, they will have darker colors which doesn't exactly look nice. Okay, sometimes they will do that when they are rooting, and if you give them full sun, they will get dull. They're looking like they're tired, so that's what they feel like if you don't root them up. But if you manage to root them up and to water them consistently and they are active, they will look much brighter like this one and much more alive, and yeah, there will not be that stressed. Okay, so that is actually a type of stress. Some people will like that, and sometimes on plants it will look good, but on this one it's not looking very good. It can still look better than that. There are good stress and there is bad stress, so this one kinda is more of a good stress because you can see the leaves are brighter, the color is much more vibrant. So yeah, that is a much more better looking stress plant. This is an Echeveria arcane, so another one of those Agavoides hybrids. You can see the shape of the rosette, really nice symmetry right now. Okay, and I also adore the thick leaves that it has, and also the dark edges. Okay, this plant can get fully red if you stress it out really nice. If you give it probably more grow lights or give it light under a grow light, it can get really red and not just like a green one. Okay, so if you're looking for red succulents, then the Agavoides varieties are the ones that you would be looking for, and I really like the look of this one if it's stressed. Probably later, if I get a grow light, we will get to see what it looks like when it's stressed. Echeveria arcane, it's different from our Echeveria fireball, which I have as well. And let's just move on to the next. This is our Echeveria red moon, and this is very different than your usual Agavoides hybrids, but I can tell this is one of those Echeveria Agavoides hybrids, and I'm just not sure what plant this was crossed with, but it's a very new variety. It's very unique compared with your other Echeveria Agavoides. It has brown leaves, look at that. And also what I noticed is that it has this lighter top part of the leaf and much more redder edges and underside of the leaves, and that is very unique. Okay, you can see that. Let's move on. Yeah, this is one of the more further up there Agavoides hybrids. This is our Echeveria Ariel. It's already very far away from being an Agavoides because this is the champagne crossed with the Lawi. Okay, so we get the champagne already, or the pink champagne, and then it's crossed with the Lawi again. Okay, even though the champagne is already a Lawi hybrid, it's crossed again with that one, and we get the Ariel. which has a much more farina and less of those striations. It already lost those farina patterns that the champagnes have, but it has a much more flatter look. It's not as close. Okay, I've seen a lot of pictures of this. It has much more of a lower type growth. Okay, you will see that it's more of flatter compared with the champagne, which is much more rounder. Okay, you can see this one, it's already closing up, it's much more tight, but this one has a much more flat looking appearance. Okay, and that's what I've seen with the Ariel, with the many pictures of it online. Okay, let's move on to the next. And here we have this. Okay, so this is my fire pillar. Actually, looking at it right now, it has much more farina than the arcane, but they usually look very similar. But when I looked it up on Instagram, I actually saw that they have very different traits. Okay, the fire pillar has much more reddish tips when it's not stressed, while the arcane has kind of a reddish margin on it when it is stressed. So they're very different, have very different growth, and once you manage to stress them, they will also look very different. So yeah, if you're getting confused with Agavoides varieties currently, if you buy one, just take note of the ID of the plant and let it grow in your area, let it get stressed, and once you manage to get it stressed, you will see the differences of them. They are not the same, and it's actually really satisfying to see a plant transform in your area. And you will get that with the Agavoides hybrids if you just be patient with them. Okay, they're one of those more patient, needy type of succulents, and sometimes you will also have to be patient with their potting mix, just like with this one. Okay, I have these two. This is our Romeo Rubin, and this is our Ebony. I'm not sure if that is an Ebony anymore because it's no longer showing those margins, but I'm still rooting this up, But what I can tell with this Romeo is it's already producing new leaves at the center. That's one sign that your plant is establishing and is growing if it has new leaves at the center. If the center part of the rosette is much more tighter, then that means the plant is producing new leaves already. Okay, same with this one. I'm having the same kind of new growth on that one. So that is that is one of the original Agavoides succulents out there. And Agavoides actually is named Agavoides because when the growers first saw the Echeveria Agavoides, it reminded them of agaves, because agaves have these pointed leaves that are kind of like sharp, but the Agavoides Echeveria not that sharp really, but it reminds you of the same shape that it has with agaves, which is why it's called the Agavoides. Okay, and the Echeveria Agavoides, actually I think it's just one plant with a lot of different colors. So we have the ebony and the ones that they are selling as lipstick, but technically they are the same plant, the lipstick and the ebony, so that is the same plant. The Romeo is just a mutation which gets much more darker red colors, but it is still the same Agavoides. Okay, it's just a different mutation, because sometimes plants in the wild will have different shapes. Even though they are the same plant, they will have different shapes because they already grew far away from each other, and that is what happened with the Agavoides, which is why it has different margins. Okay, because they probably have grown separately in the wild, but they are still the same Echeveria Agavoides. Okay, so we have that really nice Agavoides. Okay, finally on our neglected area, okay, the cactus section, I placed this starlight crest. Okay, Echeveria, I believe it is a starlight that is crested. Okay, you can see all the fine leaves that it has and the thin shape that the leaves have. Okay, and it's also very vibrantly green. Okay, that is a crested plant. I used to have Nevada crests, but they died because of my lack of knowledge with the potting mix. So yeah, let's talk about the potting mix right now. Okay, let's go back and let's look at the plants that we have. Okay, you can see here the potting mix that I'm using. Okay, it has organic materials, it has alnus compost, and yeah, I'm also trying out type of soilless potting mix, okay, which doesn't have soil, doesn't get very heavy. So that is what I'm using, a little bit of that and alnus compost. Same with this one. Okay, same with this one, you can see there, and it's still newly watered. Okay, same with this one, and same with this one as well. I think I added organic materials under there. It's just sinking because if you water, the organic materials usually sink. Okay, with the Nevada we have, okay, we also have organic materials. So it's not pure pumice. Okay, I would recommend against that. Okay, so okay, we have some root action there. Okay, so there is the potting mix that we have. Okay, it has organic materials. Okay, so what your Echeveria Agavoides needs really is to produce a root ball so that it will not burn like that, because that one doesn't have a root ball yet. See here, no root ball. Okay, just root hairs. What is a root ball? A root ball is when you take a plant. Okay, for example, this one has been blown by the wind. Okay, when you take a plant, look at that. Okay, it already has a mass of roots. That is a root ball, and that only appears if you have organic materials, because the root hairs attach to organic materials in the potting mix. It doesn't attach to pumice. Now, if you plant in a very pumice heavy potting mix, it will not produce that. And also, if you use very loose organic materials like carbonized rice hull, I also notice it. Carbonized rice hull doesn't really help. My plants that were planted in carbonized rice hull and pumice, they don't produce these large, massive root balls. And that will appear once you add more organic materials to their potting mix, because yeah, that's what the plants attach to. Okay, the compost, the soilless potting mix. So you can try that out. Without a proper root ball, your succulents will burn, like this one. Okay, it burns. And also, if you use very little organic material in your potting mix, really, you will not produce large roots. And without those large roots, without those root balls, if you water, because they already have a very small amount of root, the potting mix will not dry because they don't have roots to absorb the water. And in turn, once because the potting mix is not drying out, because they don't absorb the water, because they don't have roots, because it's still wet for very long, it will also make your succulents rot. Okay, so that is what we're trying to avoid, which is, you might think that it's kind of like counterintuitive, because you add more organic materials and then there is less risk of rot. But yes, that is true. If you add more alnus compost in your potting mix and your plant attaches to its potting mix, it will be less likely to rot than if you add pure pumice and it's not drying out too fast because your plant is not rooting. Then that will encourage rot on your plants. So kind of like counterintuitive, but really adding enough organic materials helps with the drying out process. Okay, which is why now you can see here, look at this, I'm already using a lot of organic materials on all of my succulents, because yeah, that's what they're happy with. Look at this mga, diba? I used to think that it won't establish right here because I added a lot of alnus compost, and I think I added too much. That's what I thought, but the plant just establishes right there. Okay, probably I will still repot this because it's still a very shallow pot, but now it's looking like it's producing this much more full rosette, because those have some gaps in the rosette when I first got it, but now it's producing more growth. So I will probably need to repot this in a bigger pot like this one later. But yeah, just try and add more organic materials in your potting mix. Okay, you can see here, even if you add organic materials, they will not, die right away. Just be mindful of the watering, because with more organic materials as well, this is what I noticed with the alnus compost, it's easy to see if your potting mix is dry, because the alnus compost will change color once it's dry. So yeah, it's very, very easy for me to water consistently these Agavoides varieties because I have more organic materials in their potting mix, alnus compost. Okay, so is that a good thumbnail material? Okay, probably like on this angle. Yeah, probably in this other angle. Yeah, is that a good thumbnail? And also, just a quick look. Okay, here is our watering station. Oh yeah, I forgot, I need to show you the new plants that we have. We have our Riga, Glory. I thought this was an Agavoides, but this is Riga, Glory, we have our Morilla peach candy, probably. I forgot. Okay, but I will be posting the name. There it is. It's already planted. It's not rooted yet. I just plopped it onto the soil. Fire pillar. What else is our new succulents? Here we have this one. Our Echeveria missing you. Look at that. Really nice. What else is our new planted? This is new. The RZ. Okay, our cubic frost. Probably I will just show you our new plants later as well because it's off topic really. But yeah, I will still make more videos about Echeveria soon, so please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Oh yeah, I forgot to show this one. I think that this one needs to be shown because it's a really nice succulent. This is our Aurora gem, Purpurorum hybrid Cospidum amethystinum. Really nice. Okay, this one is really adorable. Okay, but probably I will show it later, show it more soon once I manage to establish it really nicely. And you can see new growth on our mule. Yes. Okay, so we have that. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video, guys. I still have some plants to water, you can see there. Okay, and also I'm getting classes right now because we're actually preparing for some new activities because the pandemic is already ending, and yeah, I have to prepare because I'll be going through some volunteer work. So I'm getting classes, which is why I'm not going to be posting very regularly, but I will still try and post regularly here on the channel. So just keep watching our older videos if you haven't already. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. We're getting a lot of new subscribers lately, and I'm really grateful for our new viewers, new commenters. If I'm not able to answer your comments right away, you can message me on Facebook because sometimes I don't have the time anymore to look at the comments. Message me on Facebook, send me your photos if you have plant problems, and I will try to answer it on my Facebook page, Cali Plants. So I think that's about it for this video, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.